If you're shopping for a tankless water heater that can keep up with a busy household or even a small business without taking over your utility bills or your garage, you've probably noticed that most of the big names sound alike. Rinnai CU160iN is one of the few that actually walks the walk when it comes to real-world reliability and quiet operation. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. I spent a few evenings reading through the 23 verified ratings and the handful of owner comments that pop up on the Rinnai site, and what stood out wasn't the headline 9 GPM flow rated, was the fact that people who actually installed it in a 2-bathroom house or a small CAF rarely had to think about it afterward. That's the real win with Tankless. You stop worrying about running out of hot water and start worrying about whether the unit is sized right for your peak hour. The CU160iN sits at 9 GPM on natural gas, which is plenty for 2 simultaneous showers plus a dishwasher or a small hand washing station, but if you're running 3 showers, a clothes washer, and a garden hose at the same time on a cold morning, you'll still feel the drop. That's not a flaw, it's just physics. The manual and the spec sheet make that clear, so owners aren't caught off guard. The other thing that matters in daily life is noise. A lot of condensing units sit in a closet or a mechanical room and sound like a small jet engine when they fire up. Rinnai's internal baffling and insulated cabinet knocked that down to something closer to a quiet refrigerator hum, which is a big deal if the heater is inside the house. Owners who mounted it in a hallway closet or a utility room under the stairs say they forget it's even running until they open the closet door and feel the warmth. That's the kind of detail that separates a product you tolerate from one you actually live with. Installation is where most buyers stumble, and Rinnai is upfront about it. Professional install is strongly recommended. The unit needs a dedicated gas line sized for the BTU load, a condensate drain, and proper combustion air, none of which are trivial if you're retrofitting an older home. If you've already got a modern gas line and a nearby drain, the job is straightforward for a licensed plumber. If you're starting from scratch, budget for the extra piping and permits. The CU160iN itself is compact, about the size of a large suitcase, so it fits in tight mechanical closets, but the venting and gas line take up more space than you'd expect once you lay it out on paper. Energy savings are real but modest. Because it's a condensing unit, it pulls extra heat out of the flue gases and recycles it back into the water, so your monthly gas bill will be lower than with an old storage tank. In a moderate climate with moderate use, owners report saving anywhere from $8 to $12 a month compared to a 40-gallon tank. That's not enough to pay for the unit itself, but it's enough to keep the heater from feeling wasteful. The real value shows up in the long run: no standby heat loss, no tank corrosion, and no surprise replacement after 10 years. Who should buy this model? If you have a household of 3 to 4 people, a small office with a shower, or a side business like a hair salon that needs hot water on demand, the CU160iN is a solid choice. It's also a good fit if you're building new or doing a full repipe anyway, because you can run the right-sized gas line from the start. If you're in a very cold climate where incoming water is routinely below 40 degrees, you'll want to confirm the flow rate at your actual inlet temperature. Rinnai publishes a sizing chart that lets you plug in your zip code and see the adjusted GPM. Who should skip it? If you're a weekend DIYer who's never dealt with gas piping, this isn't the project to learn on. If your household peak demand is north of 11 GPM, think 3 showers, 2 dishwashers, and a clothes washer all running at once, you'll need a larger unit or a secondary heater. And if your mechanical room is already crammed with water softeners, pressure tanks, and HVAC gear, the extra venting and condensate line might push you into a bigger space or an outdoor install. One hidden trade-off to mention: condensate management. The unit produces a small but steady trickle of slightly acidic water that has to go somewhere. Most owners run it to a floor drain or a laundry tub, but if you don't have a convenient drain, you'll need a condensate pump, which adds cost and another point of failure. Rinnai includes a neutralizer kit in the box, but you still have to plumb it. It's not a deal breaker, but it's one more thing to budget for and install correctly. Bottom line: